Hello, so today I'm making a video that is going to be about me watching Al Pacino movies for the first time ever.
Boy, sit on your hands on the bed, shut your mouth, or so help me God, I'll hit you with this chair.
That is a table!
Now, I started watching these on January 7th, and what is that? I guess it's nothing. Anyways, I started watching these movies on January 7th, and I made a different video, but I didn't like it, so I'm making a new one, and that's what this is gonna be. So I thank you for watching, and let's get right into the video. So I watched a few different movies, and I said this in my last video, but like I said, I didn't really like how it came out because I said it like way too fast, and it needs to be more slowed down. So first I'm gonna go over the list of the movies, things I noticed, things I liked, things I thought were cringe, and yeah, so let's get right into it. So I watched the movies Scarecrow, Bobby Deerfield, Panic in Needle Park, which I kept thinking was Picnic, but it's Panic, but I have no brain cells. I watched the movie And Justice for All, Cruising, Scent of a Woman, Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, Revolution, Author, Scarface, Sea of Love, The Local Stigmatic, Frankie and Johnny, Carlito's Way, Looking for Richard, City Hall, Donnie Brasco, Insomnia, and People I Know. Now, I took the longest to watch the movie Scarface, and I still did not watch the Godfather trilogy or whatever because I don't like to watch people's most popular movies, and I have my own opinion about that, but I may do a part 2 to this when I get around to watching those, because it's like, I think I'll eventually watch them, but just not yet. So I'll get onto it in a minute. And I'll explain more why later. So anywho's, when these movies, so I like to start with people's first movie and then go to like what they're doing now, blah, 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 blah. And I had never seen an Al Pacino movie like at all. Like I've heard of them. I heard of Al Pacino. I've heard of all of his movies, but I've literally never seen a single one. The only thing I saw was like a smidgen clip of the show Hunters, and I was like, no. So anywho's, basically, anytime I've ever seen Al Pacino, he was already old. He was already whatever. So I never saw anything of when he was young, and I never saw him how he used to look. So anywho's, when I was watching these movies, I was like, the first thing I noticed, I was like, he is so literally tiny, and I didn't know that because all my life, for some reason, I just assumed he was normal height. But I was like, that is actually so cute, like how small he is in all these movies. And I was like, all his characters, like in the 70s, they were so adorable. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not expect so much softness and sweetness and cuteness from these characters. Like, I cannot.
Victory for the most important civil rights issue of our time.
Want some peaches?
Yeah, I got it.
The Scarecrow is. I don't want any part of that, I'll tell you.
Scarecrows are beautiful.
Scarecrows are beautiful.
How's it going, Frankie?
Okay, I come to get my shoe.
So, the movie, firstly, is Scarecrow from 1973. I thought this was a really good movie, and it's really different because it's not the typical movie, because firstly, we have two friends, Gene Hackman and Al Pacino, and they go on this kind of road trip type thing. And road trip movies are nothing new. They did those like in the 70s, 50s, 60s. But it's just like what happens like at the end, in my opinion, is kind of non-traditional. And if you haven't seen the movie, then spoiler alert. So at the end, he basically has a mental breakdown and just collapses in on himself because of what happens. So Al Pacino plays a character, Lion, and this is what happens to Lion, because there ends up a scene where they go to jail and he's basically assaulted. Well, he's not basically assaulted, he is assaulted in jail, and it just, you know, ruins his whole world.
What do you mean? Really, for what? What do you say? I don't know what you want.
Because at first he was kind of happy, trying to hold on to hope, and then he tries to go talk to his wife, and she's a raggedy skank who deserved to get hit by a train. So that kind of ruins his whole entire worldview and his life. So he just goes crazy at the end. And I feel like it's really different because you don't really see too many movies where men are like expressing emotions or having anything happen to them. It's always something happening to a lady. It's never anything happening to a man in a movie. Like, they're never in the vulnerable situation. It's always a lady. So I kind of like how it flipped that kind of thing in that movie, and I thought it was really good. So yeah, Scarecrow is a good movie.
Baby, damn it. Look, you skinny little bastard, will you wake up? Hey!
The next movie was Bobby Deerfield. Now, I did like this movie. I feel like it's just kind of a background movie. Like, it's not something you just like, you know what I mean? It's like, for the aesthetic of the movie, I like it, but it's not like a discussive whatever movie. It's just like an easy background noise type of movie. It's like a fancy painting, this movie. Like, it's good, but it's like, it's supposed to be like high tier art rather than something for mass consumption. You know what I mean? So I thought Bobby Deerfield was good. It's this movie. He plays a race car driver, and I was like, all the outfits in this movie are 12 out of 10. Like, I cannot. That's a good movie.
I'm gonna go in there.
I didn't mean to suggest that you are homo. I have nothing against homos.
That's good to hear.
I liked it. Didn't really care about the girl. Like, there's a plot with this girl and she's supposed to be dying, but I was like, nobody cares. So, yeah. So that's why I like the movie Bobby Deerfield. The next movie was Panic in Needle Park. Even though I actually watched that movie first. Hold on. And like I have said, I watched that movie first, and like I said before, I thought it was Picnic in Needle Park, not Panic. So I was like, when is the picnic happening for half of the movie? Until I realized it was Panic, and I was like, wow, I really have no brain cells. Oh my god. So in this movie, he basically plays let's call it what it is. He's basically playing a crackhead in this movie. And him and this girl, they live in this hobo shack apartment. And they're basically just like, that's what they are. They're just crackheads, and they just go through this little crackhead love story. And it's actually a really cute movie. It's not my favorite movie, but I think it's a good movie. It's watchable. I would watch it again. There's good parts in it, and you can kind of see his early acting style showing through there with the kind of intensity. He has like, I know he's known for his like screaming and blah 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 type of movie roles, but he also has like this soft intensity that I really really like in his earlier movies and stuff like that. So that's why that movie's in there.
You the father of that kid?
Who?
Marco, who?
I guess so.
That's some answer.
I thought it was really good. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, my favorite movie actually though, like as far as drug movies are concerned, like it's not like I go out seeking movies of people on drugs, but the best one I think is The Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'll do a Leonardo DiCaprio movies list later, but yeah, I think that's one of the best movies about people on drugs that I have seen. Like, I've never done drugs and I don't know anybody who does drugs, so I'd rather keep it to the movies and not actually see the actual people. But yeah, so that's a good movie. The next movie I've seen was And Justice for All, and I believe this is the second or third one I saw, and I really really love this movie. There's so many good parts in it, and not even just the ending, because I like the part at the end where he says, let's make a deal. I thought that part was really funny because when he's just like cracked and completely gone, I thought that was funny. But the part where he's like, these are people, don't you understand? Don't you even care? I'm like, you can see the actual emotion coming through in that scene, and I feel like it's realistic and you can feel real emotions in that, and I really really like that scene.
God damn it!
I'm sorry.
God damn it!
No, I'm sorry.
God damn it!
And I feel like it's just such a real movie, and it's just like, wow, okay, let's, you know what I mean? The emotions come through on the screen. Like, I cannot express how good of a movie that is. Like, that is a 12 out of 10 quality content movie. And I'm like, the fact that he won an Oscar for Scent of a Woman and not this movie, like, what are we doing?
Oh, Jeff. Oh, Jeff. Now, look.
Jeff, you can't win this thing. You understand me? You can't win. Jeff, this is their thing. They gear up for this kind of thing, Jeff. Please.
So, anyways, the next movie I saw was Cruising, which was another movie that I thought was actually decent. It's a little bit ahead of its time, too, because it's not the typical kind of gay movie for that time, if that makes sense. It's not the typical way that movies featuring gay characters or gay storylines are typically portrayed, even though I said it's very similar to the movie The Detective with Frank Sinatra, in which they're also investigating a series of murders of gay men.
Why me?
Well, frankly, all of the victims appear to be the same physical type, which is to say, they all look like you. Late 20s, 140, 150 pounds, dark hair, dark eyes.
I see.
I want to send you out there to see if you can attract this guy.
How, where?
In that movie, so they're also doing that in the movie Cruising, but it's in a very different kind of way, and I think it's a really good movie, and it's exploration and things like that. It's just good little psychological movie. It's not like 12 out of 10. It's like I give it a solid like 7.5, because like it's okay. Like it's not amazing, it's not fall off your chair, but it's pretty good. So yeah,
I don't think I can do the job, Captain. I don't think I can handle it. That's all.
the next movie that I saw was Scent of a Woman. Now I didn't really like this movie. Like I like Al Pacino in this movie, and I like yeah, that's about it, because everybody else would just kind of know. Even Philip Seymour Hoffman, like, I love him in movies, and I loved his movie style. But this movie was just a no for me. I don't know why, but everybody around it was just, like, a solid no. Which is why I don't understand how this movie got an Oscar. Like,
Dale strikes me as a very beautiful woman. But you know, there's a little tension in her voice. I don't know what it is. Could be one of two things. Either Gail is nervous or unsatisfied.
What's your point, Uncle Frank?
You ought to go down on her.
Cut it out, Frank, will you?
And you've gotten so wrapped up in the sugar business, you've forgotten the taste of real honey!
Frank, for God's sake.
Hear that voice? There's fire under that dress.
Will you cut it out? Why don't you just get the fuck out of here? Why don't you get in your...
So, no. Anywho's, the next movie that I saw was Serpico.
Okay, now which one of you guys want to come with me? What? Come on. Listen, can you do me a favor?
What?
Just watch the car and my stuff over here, because I'm moving in.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Now, this movie is problematic on multiple levels, but I know it's supposed to be a true story, but that doesn't take away from it being problematic. Just like the movie Hardball with Keanu Reeves is problematic, that doesn't take away from this movie being problematic. Like, I like it. There's parts of it that are like so cute. Like I said, again, with the softness. The puppy, so cute. A lot of it's really good. But there's parts of it that I was like, you know what? So yeah. Anywho's, but Serpico is a good movie, like regardless of those parts that I'm like, what are we doing? Like, regardless of that, it's a good movie. The next movie that I saw was Dog Day Afternoon.
What?
That's all there is.
What are you talking about?
They picked it up this afternoon. There's only $1,100.
Well, she's telling you the truth.
Shoot me.
Oh, I can't believe it.
And I thought this was a really good movie, and it's actually kind of, again, a non-typical plot. And I think the plot is really good considering that, like I said, I don't have time to do a whole 10-hour video, because if I did do an individual movie breakdown, each review would be 40 hours long. But yeah. The next movie that I saw was Revolution, which also has a young, what's his name? What is his name? Oh my gosh. Dexter Fletcher. This also has Dexter Fletcher in it, but he doesn't come in until like halfway through the movie. Anyways, I'm not gonna say this movie was complete trash, but I'm also not gonna say like it was good. Like, it's not bad, but it's also not good. It's like, okay. Like, if I saw Like, had I never seen movies like The Bounty, then this would have been maybe a decent movie, but I don't know. So, like, it's you know, but it's not like horrid like people say. Like, it's watchable, but it's also not something that I would choose to watch again unless by force. So, yeah.
What's his name? I'm his pa. I told you he ain't joined.
Yes,
No.
he has.
No, he ain't had my permission.
Makes no difference. He received the 5 shillings and he signed his name.
The next movie I saw is Author, which is actually not that bad. Only thing is the kids ruin the movie. I feel like they shouldn't have leaned so heavily into the plot of the kids because they kind of make the whole entire movie trash. But if the kids weren't in it, this would have been such a good movie. Like, it could have still centered around the kids, but just not have shown the kids as much because I feel like they got too much screen time and I wouldn't have mentioned them that much. So, yeah.
Jesus, there's chips in this stuff.
Take some water.
The next movie that I saw was Scarface, and I said I feel like this movie did not have enough cheese to pull off what it was trying to pull off. Like, I thought it was okay, but at the same time, it just, the intensity would have had to be and would have had to have been turned up more. And I feel like I took so long to watch this movie because it was kind of ruined for me because, like I said, all the 111 internet fanboys always, even before the internet was a thing, like back in the early 2000s, people would just say the same stupid quote over and over. And I had never seen Scarface. Like I said, I never saw it until like basically a few days ago. But yeah, the plot was pretty much ruined because people always ruin everything. And I was like I said, the cheese could have been turned up 10,000% more. And then I was like, who even sounds like that though? My thing is, what Cuban person, like, who sounds like that? That's all I want to know. Like, who does this? And then I'm like, the spray tan, I cannot. I'm like, is this borderline? Like, is this, like, I don't want to cancel anybody because, but what are we doing? Like I said though, if you take it for its cheese quality, then it's a decent movie. But like I said, it could have been more hilarious than it was. But I think for the aesthetic purposes, it was a good movie. But like I said, good visuals don't always make a good movie. Because kind of like Baz Luhrmann, I feel like his movies have really good visuals, but his movies just are not very good. But Scarface is a decent movie. It's not like fall off your chair, but it's not bad. I would give it an 8. Like, I would watch it again. But like I said, if the cheese was more, then it would be good.
Where you going? Come here! Going. Help! Help me! I was kidding! I was only kidding!
I guess I'm... Man, she's right. You are an asshole, man.
Come here, give me a kiss. Come here. Come here. Hey. I don't need him. I don't need her.
The next movie I saw was Sea of Love, and I feel like this movie kind of continues a kind of weird common theme in Al Pacino movies where he's always like in some iffy situation with another man. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just noticed a pattern, like where he's being personally attacked by another man, and I'm like, what are we doing? Are we spilling some personal truths in these movies? I'm just saying. So, not that there's anything wrong with that, because like I said, I think it's really original, and I think it's different to show, like I said, that vulnerability. And I don't know if directors and stuff put him in that roles because he is so small and they feel like he's this teeny tiny defenseless whatever, but then again, he always ends up beating up the person that tried to do whatever to him, so I don't know what we're supposed to feel in these scenes, but here we are.
No, I didn't do anything.
You show me and I'll let you go.
I didn't do anything. No, we just fought.
Show me what you did!
But Sea of Love, this movie was iffy. It was in between. I won't say it's complete trash, but there are some moments where I was like, what in the racism of 1988 is this? And it just, I cannot. Like, I'll put up here like why the scene was problematic, and I can't really look at that movie like through a proper lens because that clouded my hatred for it from the beginning, from the jump, even though I knew what they were trying to do. But it's like, you're perpetuating stereotypes and that's not okay. I'm not putting the scene here because it doesn't deserve the light of day, but basically when the cop character that Al Pacino plays goes to investigate the series of murders that take place in the movie, this man who is a janitor or whatever in the store does the typical, well, I saw somebody black, and the man had they said the boy had cornrows, and they were like, this hairstyle means this and this and that. And I was like, you know what, I don't have time for this. So yeah, that's why this movie needs to get deleted. And of course, as it turns out, the janitor was actually the murderer all along, and I'm spoiling it because the movie is stupid. So yeah. So yeah, for that, The Sea of Love gets a 2 out of 5 because it was hideous.
That's what? You like guys and girls? Or girls?
Well, I got an aunt named Carmen.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Carmen Miranda.
Me? Yeah, well, sometimes, you know, but mainly girls.
So the next movie was The Local Stigmatic, and I'm not even going to stick too long on this. This movie gets a 0 out of 0, because what? This movie doesn't even, like, I know it's a play, technically. It's a 1-act play, but oh my gosh. British people never deserve to be personally attacked like that. Who even? I can't. So no. The next movie that I saw was Frankie and Johnny, which I actually thought was pretty cute.
Can I ask you something?
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
Again with the jail theme for Al Pacino movies. In it, there's Michelle Pfeiffer and Al Pacino, and basically he's an old man who got out of jail. He's not supposed to be that old, but he is kind of old. He's like 50, but he keeps being like, oh no, I'm 42, I'm 44, and I'm like, more like 56. But anyways, he still looked decent, I guess you could say, by this movie. So him and Michelle Pfeiffer get together, and they basically go through all this turmoil at their little restaurant job. I have problems with this movie simply because of basically them spreading disease the whole time they work in the restaurant. Like, they cook without gloves, they put their hands in the sandwich meat. Like, who does this? But yeah. Besides that, though, Frankie and Johnny, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's okay. I mean, I think I would watch it again, like, on a casual day. Like, I might put it in my mix of romance movies, but might not. Like, my top romance movie that I love so much is Untamed Heart with Christian Slater and Marissa Tomei and Rosie Perez. Like, that's my favorite movie. Romance movie, because I don't even like romance movies. I think they're stupid, but that one's really good. So, yeah.
So what do you think of him?
Who?
The new guy.
He just started, Cora.
I've been checking him out. Something about him I don't like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Some wise guy.
Nah, it's not that. It's the headband. It's kind of cute, though.
Oh, you see something cute in every guy.
The next movie I saw was Carlito's Way, which I had never even heard of, but apparently my mom said she used to watch this movie all the time when I was younger, but I never saw her watching it. I never knew she knew it, but she was like, I love that movie. She can quote it back to front, and I was like, okay then. But yeah, I get that people like this weird habit character, but I'm like, I don't know like what that is, but I forget what to call it, but like I know that people like that. So yeah, Carlito's Way wasn't that bad, so I'll give it an 8.5.
Let's do it, Gail. Let's get out of here. All three of us.
The next movie that I saw was Looking for Richard. Now, again, I don't know what this is, but it gets a 1 star, and that's all I'm gonna say. The next thing I saw was City Hall, which was a pretty decent movie, but I feel like it was kind of short because like it doesn't come to a real resolution. And then I was like, isn't the police officer the one that shot the little boy, not the drug dealer in this movie? Like, I'm confused. So yeah. The next movie is Donnie Brasco. Now, this movie, I feel like I was trolled because it was not that amazing. I don't really like Johnny Depp anyways, but like, this was just an eh. And that's what I feel like with Scarface and like a lot of these popular movies. I'm like, what I expected versus what I saw, I'm like disappointed because I expected so much and I got so little. So yeah, Donnie Brasco is not bad, but it's also not like fall off your chair and break your neck like amazing levels of amazing, but eh. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10. So not that it matters, even though I didn't really like this movie all that much, Al Pacino was really good in it. And I was like, his character Lefty, like all his outfits are high-key fire. Like I'm not even like these clothes, like you could wear them nowadays and they still are like 12 out of 10. So yeah, he gets points for fashion, because like even the little movie when they chop up the other man, that little blue one piece, that was actually cute. So yeah. Again, I know it's based on a true story and it was for the sake of the movie, but I also didn't like the part in Donnie Brasco where they beat up the restaurant man, because that was racist and that was unnecessary. Like, he was just telling him to take his shoes off to be respectful of the restaurant. Like, what are we doing? They did not have to beat him up. That was rude. Like, I understand that if he took his shoes off, then they would see his little recorder, but he should have just been smarter than that and put his recorder in his underwears or something, or just said he didn't want any food and left the restaurant and waited in the car, because what are we doing? The next movie was Insomnia with Robin Williams and Al Pacino. Once again, I finished watching the movie kind of after the video, because like I hadn't finished watching it properly, but like the ending was seriously so stupid. I don't understand. Like, I may be just like super slow, but like what was the ending? Like, I thought the ending was gonna be that they're the same person all along, but like it makes no sense. Like, I just don't have the brain cells to comprehend this movie. Like, it does not make any sense. Like, it's not even good like The Prestige. Like, The Prestige is good, but like this movie, what is this? I don't understand. So like, if it wasn't so confusing, I would give it like a actually no, you know what, this movie gets like a 4 because it was a no. So yeah. And the last movie that I saw was People I Know, which I said, funnily enough, why is the People I Know accent the same accent from Carlito's Way? And I was like, I see this trend in a lot of Al Pacino movies. He has the same accent in certain movies, then will change back to whatever his normal accent is in other movies. But yeah, so I thought that was a pretty good movie. I said, funnily enough, this movie makes me think that he would have been so good as like the Penguin in Batman. Like, Danny DeVito did good, but I think Al Pacino would have been really good in it too. But yeah,
I told him to change the fucking title.
so all in all, I thought his movies were pretty good. Anyways, the what's it called? My ultimate review is just like, I thought these were really cute and really sweet, and I didn't know what to expect, and I was like, I forget the word, like, instead of like whatever is the exact opposite of my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined, whatever that opposite is, I'm that. Like, I was happy. These movies are pretty good, and yeah, I thought they were really good, and that's pretty much all I can say. So yeah, so I think they're pretty good. Would recommend. I would say my favorite Al Pacino movie, I guess, if I could say one, is Injustice for All, because I feel like that's a really, really good movie. So yeah, so I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next. I forgot to mention that I watched the movies Glengarry Glen Ross and Heat, but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video.